Hi, welcome back. You're with Sharon from Vivid Days. I have the gift of time today, which is a day off work, so I get to be creative in the studio today, feeling a lot better than I were yesterday. Today I'm going to explore and challenge myself as I'm learning art resin, or should I say resin with art. I'm going to push some of the skills that I know from my oil paintings and see how or if I can replicate this within the resin world. So one of my first oil paintings that I'm going to be looking at, and I'm not going for the image to be the same, but what I am going to see is if I have grass coming up here and a few flowers, can I create the reflection that's below that? Don't know if it's going to be possible, but I'm definitely going to pull on my skills and see what we can do there. I'm going to be working with the same colour palette from yesterday. I love how this turned out. I'm so sorry if the reflection in here is not going to get you to see the depth and the colour scheme. I have windows everywhere, but I'll bring it in and try and move it about to get you hopefully a feeling of depth or colour. Love the colour palette, love the depth, love the popping of the colour, so hopefully you get to feel nature. Hopefully you'll get to see some of the cool effects and the different colours used and the resemblance of what looks like flowers. So I'm going to use the same colour palette as yesterday. I'm going to work on a smaller image to start with, because I want to see if I'm going to be successful and I don't want to waste a lot of resin. So if I master this on the small one, I'll pop that into a bigger one. And I thought ahead today, I have got a spare board, so if there's anything left over, I can make sure I capture all that resin. Today I'm going to be working with a few palette choices for me, but I am going to mix up my own greens to get the depth, and I'm going to be using Easy Composite. So I've got the green, the blue and the yellow, which is going to give me my gradients of green, and I've also got the burnt sienna, which is going to give me that natural line for the earth as it blends through into the water, which I will use my blue to try and capture that. It'd be interesting to see if I can actually drag it down though the same way you can with oils. Just to give highlights to my grass and for the foreground and the light, I'm going to be using my spring green and I'm going to be using my apple green, and that's from Pearlex, as well as my flowers. I'm just going to stick with the two colours, which is the cadmium red. I think I've finally learnt how to set it, and that was made by Cornelissen Pigments. It's a beautiful red, and I'm also going to be using with the violet reflex, which is Pearlex. So a fairly small palette for myself. I'm learning, and I'm also loving the fact that I am challenging the skills. I've only been dabbling in resin for a short period of time, only done a few pieces, but I am quite loving how it's making me think differently as an artist. So I'm not going to keep you longer now. I'm going to come back to you once I've got this all mixed and we're ready to go, and hopefully you'll learn along the way with me. Hopefully we'll get some successes, but hopefully it'll just make you connect with nature. It's starting to come into springtime over here. The sun is up, the sky is blue, and I've got a lot of light coming in here, so I'm hoping to make the most of that. So hope you have an amazing day and hope you enjoy and learn something in this video. Okay, I'm back. Took a little while mixing it all up. I'm struggling to put my glove back on, but the good thing is we are ready. I've got a positive feeling about this, so I've got a feeling that if I can't replicate what I'm trying to do, I still think I'll be able to make a nice picture from it. So let's start with the brown, where I'm going to try and make it look like that's where there is earth before it goes into the water. I'm going to try and have slightly more above for the grass and the flowers. Doesn't matter if it's not perfectly straight yet, because when I start pulling the grass up, and let's face it, earth isn't even, is it? Alright, put that back. I'll come in now with my blue that's going to be for the water. I will have to pull some green down through it. I'm already starting to lose my resin. It's nice working with it while it's quite warm. I think what I've got to be careful of is I don't get too blue, because I do need the green to come through as the reflection, but I'll just spread it out, see how it evolves. And I think it'll be with my fingers I'll pull it down. Doesn't matter if some of that brown's in, it's actually going to give depth and texture to the water. We'll need that for the edges. In a minute I'm just mapping out where the colours are going to go. It's not about the perfect image at the minute. Just seeing if I can get my splits right and then start working into it and blow some bubbles out. Doing the darker colours down here though. Tempted to get my fingers in it, but I'm trying to work cleaner today. I went through a lot of waste yesterday and I don't like that. Okay, let's do the edge. It's leveling out now. Let's go in with a dark green. A little bit at the edge, but then I want this mainly at the top. Okay, that's where the depth is going to be. Probably am going to want to make sure there's enough at the bottom so when I drag it through with a blue. According to my calculations, I should just have the right amount, including the edges, but we shall see. I'm not too bothered if it starts dripping off at the minute. I'm just trying to get all the way to the edges. I might have to push the dark up because I do want to keep that dark. It's interesting because yesterday I worked with the greens, and because it had got a dark background, it had a lot of depth and a lot darker green, but now because I'm working on that black background, white background, golly gosh, it's weakened it a little bit, as you'd expect. Alright, trying to push my dark green up. Be a slightly lighter green, but it actually looks, no, it definitely is slightly lighter, but it's still dark. That's okay because these are all the backgrounds still. Holes. Once I've done this, I'll blowtorch it to get the air bubbles out. Then I want it to start setting a little bit so I can start adding the different strokes, because different strokes rule the world. Okay, let's get a little bit of the bubbles out. This is where it is going to start to flow off the edge. I just want to make sure I don't lose too much of it to start with. Save that. Okay. Wiping my gloves. Low speed to start with, just to help pop those bubbles, then I'll go back and blast it quickly on high. Right, so now I just want that to settle down a little bit. Lose its heat. I'm not doing it for the heat to spread, I'm just wanting to get the air bubbles out. And then maybe start trying to get my brown line back a little bit higher now because the reflection's starting to work down, and then start with my brush strokes. And I'm hoping that the glare isn't too bad, that you can actually watch this and see the different things that's happening. Alright, so I'm going to try and be precise with my brown now, and as it's setting I'll be able to go and be even more precise. The lines will stay, but at the minute it's very fluid. Alright, so now I know where my line's going to be, and I've got a natural green coming down, which is the reflection, which is amazing. And while this sets a little bit, I might work on my edges, just because if I get too far ahead with myself this part, I'll lose all the work. So bear with me while I work on my edges. So let's see if you will be able to see better from that angle. The only downside to having this beautiful little conservatory is it's got so much beautiful natural lighting and glass everywhere that it just reflects everywhere as well. So what I've been working on is my edges. Just wanted to give the other time to start going off a little bit and hardening, because then it becomes easier for me to get these strokes that I'm going to put in that is of the grass, and also for the water. So far so good, although I'm just mindful that it keeps shifting down a little bit this way. But I don't need too much of a reflection. I thought I'd levelled everything off nicely, so it shouldn't be. I'm just bringing it back up a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with that height there, so I'll just keep my eye on it. If it drifts it, I've obviously done something wrong. Give my gloves a little wipe. But I'm happy that I've managed to go on top of the sides. Normally I leave those well. Gosh, I go through too many alcohol wipes. Need to calm down on those, Sharon. what I was about to say is that I'm feeling positive about this still. I have got my door open now, so I'm just mindful that I think I need to use a thinner stick for the grass strokes. That's the one I prepared earlier. Yeah, definitely thickening enough, which is good. Doesn't mind if I bring a bit of brown through. That helps with the effect of the earth. Try not to cover all that dark green at the back, because that's my depth. Very hard working on smaller pieces when you use the big ones. Well, I've not really worked on a big one with resin, but definitely bigger than this one, but I'm quite enjoying it. I reckon you've got more time to work and play because it's a smaller piece before it all sets. So I've got this layer of grass in. I'm going to add my flowers and then put some more grass in front and then see if I can successfully replicate a little bit in the water. Sorry, I go because I'm creating the art as we go. I sort of leave you hanging on sentences. But just so you know, it's not just in here. I do it at work as well and at home. Okay, very happy with that grass already. Just want little traits of it coming back down, not a full amount. Yeah, that's definitely looking like a reflection. I will go back and hide some of it though, because you don't want it to all be so obvious or it'll lose the feeling of where it is that you're trying to create. So hope you're going to be able to see this from there, because I'm very, very impressed. You can manipulate resin like you can with oils. Okay, I think to just leave it at that. Yep, very happy. So I'm going to go in with my flower to keep it quite small. Need to kind of do it here, but I will have to smidge it out a little bit. It's a very big flower compared to the grass, but I am going to put some shoots in front of it. Okay, so I am going to have to mess that up a little bit, purposely. And then a little faithful. some movement in the water. What I'm currently doing now is pulling through my pin so that the water looks like it's rippling, because you're not going to have a perfectly straight image. When it comes to water. Let's see how I can go about getting these. And a little bit of character. Alright, so now it is, I'm going to go back in now with some more grass. Highlighting and lowlighting. It's interesting when you're working with your head back, upside down and back to front to try and replicate. Love this. Love, love, love. Okay. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Nice, easy, quick one. Aesthetically though, I think it is a winner as well. I really like it, I'm very proud of it. I'm just, oh, can't get my glove on there. I'm very proud that I'm going to be able to do this on a bigger image now, but I do want to make sure I don't lose anything and there's no runoff. So I will bring you in for a close-up. I'm just going to move that a little bit further back, hope he's still in focus. And I am going to get my heat gun. Just add a little bit more colour to my purple flower, just to help make that pop. It's faded into the green a little bit. I'm going to see if I can quickly put all these stuff onto this spare small board I've got. Alright, Shan, stop it, put it down, try and create this other piece. I'm just going to be able to do it in view. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is create this, so I'm just going to pop that over there. Not too sure if that's still in view, but I don't want to risk ruining it. And I might actually not have enough resin for this other piece, but I also might, so let's go for it. Go blue here. See how it's gone quite like a rock very sugary, thick, congealed, whatever word you want to use, but let's see. All I'm trying to do at the minute is just group the colours. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but that's what I'm doing. Let's see if this is going to be horrendous or actually quite good. Just going to pop this over to try and protect my art while I get this on the go. Quite like that. So air bubble it, and I'm going to check my other piece, then I'm going to put them both to bed. So I've just finished working on these two pieces, so it is super wet. I do apologise again for the reflection from the roof on my conservatory. The goal was to see if I could work with resin and create a reflection in the water, and I believe I've managed to successfully do that. The tip was wait until, once you've blown the base air bubbles out, wait until you have got it to go slightly hard and then start to draw and replicate it. Yeah, very, very happy. I will definitely go and do something like this now on a bigger piece, knowing that it can be done. Learned some things along the way. Did enjoy working on a smaller board, although I did, I won't say run out of time, but it did get hard at the end, so regardless of whether it's big or small, you still got the detail and volume. And this was my leftover pieces, which I'm really, really happy about. Hi, I'm just coming back now to see when it's been dried. This was the piece where I put the very remaining residue of resin onto a canvas board at the very last moment. It had gone very tacky at this stage, and I layered my colours from dark green, light green, a little bit of brown here, a little bit of the Pearl X, which is almost shiny green, with my red and my purple. Heat gunned it and just run my fingers through, and it's actually, I believe the colour scheme on this is actually quite striking. Reminds me of a watermelon colour, other than the purple. But what I am going to do is probably try and work with these colours today, and I might try and do a circular pour, or just try and replicate a similar kind of image to this but on a bigger canvas. So I think this one is a thumbs up, and I just think the colours that I wouldn't normally work with together, other than if I'm doing a nature theme, has worked really well, and hopefully you find that there's something quite pleasing around that as well. And there are some really cool effects that have happened all by itself, and I think working on a whiteboard has really helped keep this purple quite bright and the depth of this green and red. So yeah, thumbs up from me. Hi, so this one is now fully dried, and I wanted to share with you this one. I'm so pleased with the final outcome of this. The goal was to try and manipulate the resin so it looked like nature, and then I had an earth ending here going into water and creating a reflection. I apologise for the light and the reflection, and I hope this does it justice, but I believe that you can actually do it. and I'm really pleased with this, and I might try this kind of effect now on a bigger board. But I hope you watched the video and got some learns and saw how that came together. So I'll start with, so hopefully you see the depth, and as I pull it out you should start to see it rippling into some water and capturing a reflection. So it is possible to create specific works of art or an image with resin. You will always have a little bit of fluidity and movement in there, and I think that's the joy of it. You'll have a high shine, but overall it works. So I challenge yourself to think differently other than just blending beautiful colours together. See if you can actually bring in your art skills as well. If you like what you've seen, my art or the video, please thumbs up, like and subscribe, and leave comments. They're always welcome and really value those. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video.